Good evening, Kinaway members, and welcome back to yet another episode of Kinaway TV. As always, I'd like to start tonight's session off by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land of which we are meeting and pay respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Before I introduce tonight's guest, I'd like to remind today's viewers of the support services currently available to access through Kinaway. The first being the business tax support packages. This support package helps provide access to a range of bookkeeping and accounting services, preparation and submission of tax returns and BAS statements, online access to Xero and MyOb, tax and payroll obligations, and superannuation and work cover obligations to staff. If you feel this may be of use, please jump onto the Kinaway website and fill out an expression of interest. Another specialist support service which has been recently announced and will be delivered soon is support for our member businesses around digital capability, whether it be website development, e-commerce capabilities, social media and marketing, and many other components surrounding a business and its digital presence. So please keep an eye out for this. Additional to the above packages currently on offer through Kinaway, we are proud to share, and in collaboration with Claystone Marketing, free access to Claystone's social media and marketing course. The course provides an overview of social media marketing strategies and tools, which helps highlight marketing opportunities for Indigenous businesses. It's a great resource and it's really helpful to businesses looking to really solidify their online presence. In another collaborative effort, Kinaway is excited to partner with Boost Legal Templates. Designed for small businesses, Boost Legal Templates gives you clarity, safety, and access to real quality legal templates. Just complete the friendly questionnaire and you will instantly receive your own legal template, which you can take pride in knowing it's been created specifically for your business. This collaboration will save member businesses time, money, and ensures businesses are on the go while implementing good business governance. Kinaway is proud to offer members a 25% discount across all Boost legal templates. So if you feel this is something you may be interested in for your business, please contact the Kinaway team. Another support service I'd like to mention is the confidential phone crisis line for Victorian Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, launched by the Victorian Aboriginal Health Service. The service is for Indigenous people and families who feel they may need to have a yarn with someone about their wellbeing. This 1-800 helpline is a statewide social and emotional wellbeing service. The helpline, 1-800 95 9563, will operate 7 days a week from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. You'll find their contact information on the screen throughout tonight's webinar. And of course, the team here at Kinaway are working hard to be present for our members, so please keep an eye out as we look to host more webinars revolving around mental health and wellbeing and business and personal development. There's plenty of webinars on these topics already available on our Facebook and YouTube channels, so please feel free to jump on at any stage and make yourself familiar with the content. Along with the webinars and support packages mentioned, Kinaway is still offering the usual forms of business support from our members. So if you need any assistance or any support of any kind, please feel free to reach out. For this evening's webinar, we're pleased to welcome back Lee Couch from LA Health and Wellness. For those of you who missed Lee's previous webinar with us, please feel free to jump onto the Kinaway channels and view the webinar, as she guided participants through a celebration of country meditation that helped those connect to the spirit of the land. Lee touched on your identity and story and spirituality, connection, and meditation. For tonight's webinar, Lee will be facilitating a meditation themed around Dadidi reflection. Dadidi was founded by Auntie Miriam Rose as an earth mindfulness practice. The understanding of Dadidi is deep listening to the earth, self, and each other. It is a word that belongs to the language of the peoples of the Daly River in the Northern Territory and represents inner, deep, quiet, still awareness. Lee also recommends you play some ambient music to help you relax and create a connection to country. A song she suggests, which you can pull up now before she begins tonight's webinar, is available on YouTube and is called Precious Moments by Peaceful Aboriginal Guru. I'd like to welcome Lee to present this evening's webinar. If you have any questions, please post them, as Lee will be addressing them after. And as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications to receive up-to-date Kinaway news.
Hi everybody, my name's Lee Couch and I am a proud First Nations woman from the Gamilaroi tribe. Before we begin, I would like to do an acknowledgement to country. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the many places of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to my elders, both past and present, and acknowledge that we are gathered here healing and celebrating on Aboriginal land. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land. So tonight's webinar is a connection to country through Dadidi. So the reflections of Dadidi have been inspired from our amazing and wonderful sisters at Wiali. Dadidi was founded by Auntie Miriam Rose Unger from NT. As an earth mindfulness practice, the understanding of Dadidi is deep listening to the earth, self, and each other. Dadidi is a word that belongs to the language of the people of the Daly River in the Northern Territory. Dadidi is inner deep, quiet, still awareness. So there are two traditions you can use to participate in the webinar tonight. You can either sit quietly and listen with your dreaming ears, as we do for normal meditation. But when we're listening with our dreaming ears, we're listening from a deep, receptive place inside ourselves. So the words are received with every emotion that we can possibly feel. So it is a place of deep listening. The other method you could use is it still requires you to listen deeply. However, it's a more of a mindfulness practice. So you can listen and express that through drawing, through art, and it's a really beautiful way to be able to channel all of the emotions that come up when we do that connection to country. So if you are going to use art, all you will need to do is have some pieces of paper. I've just got some coloured ones here. If you don't have any coloured pieces of paper, you can just grab a white piece of A4 paper, just some pencils. You could use some pencils and even some soft pastels. They work really great as well. And you're able to just sit and listen to the reflections of Auntie Miriam Rose and be able to allow the expression to just flow out onto the paper, and you're able to keep that reflection with you as a gift of what you received tonight. So there is two ways of doing this meditation. Do whatever suits you, whatever you feel most comfortable doing. So it is also encouraged that you set up your environment to create a space of relaxation, a space of calm, so you can allow yourself to be present through the meditation and, of course, play some soft music. As James mentioned earlier, I recommend that you play Precious Moments by Peaceful Aboriginal Guru, or you may have your own personal favourite that you can play throughout the meditation as well. So my name is Lee Couch and I am a proud First Nations woman from the Gamilaroi tribe. I have a beautiful 11-year-old daughter and a pretty cool hubby as well. So we currently live on Doodarowa country here in the Alpine Shire. So my business is really an expression of my passion for health and wellness, and developing many different methods of being able to express health and wellness while weaving our culture, an Aboriginal way of knowing through meditation and movement. I also am really passionate about developing workshops, so I develop and deliver workshops as well as facilitate one-on-one sessions as well. I have a range of products that I love that allows me to be able to connect to country, and that's our Wadi Wellness Spray and our Wadi healing blend as well. Okay. So before we go into our meditation tonight, I would like you to just find a comfortable position, either sitting up or you can lie down to listen to the reflections as well. If you are drawing, find a space that you can have, your arms can move freely, and you can put all your crayons and pastels and pencils out as well. I'll give you a few seconds just to set up your space if you haven't already done so. Okay, now coming back to a comfortable position. So I'm sitting up for the meditation. This is how I like to do my meditations. So I'm in a position that supports my body and allows my air just to flow. So we'll begin with a beautiful breathing meditation. So bringing your attention now to your breath. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just become aware that you are breathing, just noticing the breath as it moves in and out of the body. So the breath is a beautiful instrument for calming the mind. It allows the thoughts and the feelings to just be peaceful and calm. So breathing in and breathing out. Don't try and control your breath in any way. Just allow your breath to flow. Be with ease. Breathing in and breathing out. So breathing in the spirit of country and breathing out. Allow any resistance just to rise and be aware of any barriers. So the best way to do this meditation is at our most vulnerable. When we place barriers, they tend to stop us from feeling and expressing through our meditation. So barriers down and breathing in and out. Invite your full attention to flow with your breath. Simply breathe as you breathe, not striving to change anything about your breath. Don't try and control your breath in any way. Just observe and accept your experience in this moment. Being present with you and being present with your breath. Being present with you and being present with your breath. Really start to feel that relaxation, that peace washing over you now. Allowing yourself to sink further and further into a relaxed state. And now bring your attention to your heart center. And just imagine your heart opening like petals on a flower. Opening as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Fully allowing the heart to express itself tonight and establish that beautiful connection to country. Now we will begin our Dadiri reflection. Dadiri is inner deep listening. and quiet, still awareness. Jadidi recognises the deep spring that is inside of us. We call on it, and it calls to us. This is the gift that Australia is thirsting for. It is something like what we call contemplation. So if you were doing this reflection through drawing, really take in the energy, really take in those words and the emotion and start to express them deeply. Let that emotion flow onto the page. If you were doing this meditation by just sitting and listening, just listen deeply from that receptive place inside. Allow those words to move you. Aboriginal people have a special respect for nature. The identity we have with the land is sacred and unique. Aboriginal people, we have a very strong sense of community. All peoples matter. All of us belong. We are people who celebrate together. When I experience Didiri, I am made whole again. I can sit on the riverbank or walk through the trees. Even if someone close to me has passed away, I find my peace in this quiet, still awareness. There is no need for words. A big part of Dididi is listening. Through the years, we have listened to our stories. They are told and sung over and over as the seasons go by. Today we still gather around the campfires, and together we hear those sacred stories. As we grow older, we ourselves become the storytellers. We pass on to the young all that we must know. The stories and the songs sink gently into our minds, and we hold them deep inside. In the ceremonies, we celebrate the awareness of our lives as sacred. The contemplative way of Dididi spreads over our whole life. It renews us and brings us peace. It makes us feel whole again. One of our ceremonies that brings about this wholeness is the smoking ceremony. So you can smell the smoke. The smell of the smoke lingering in the air, contributing to your health and wellness. We take part in the ceremony. We love to see the painted bodies and watch the dancers. We like the sound of the didgeridoo and the clapsticks. We never feel alone in the ceremony. Sometimes at a corroboree, before the dance has started, we sit and listen as the songmen or the songwomen begin the story. Everyone is relaxed. We feel secure and happy. We are all together and it is good. People are dying inside, yet as people, we still survive. Survival is something that has become part of us from centuries of struggle and endurance. Culture keeps growing. In our Aboriginal way, we learn to listen from the earliest days. We could not live good and useful lives unless we listened. This way was normal for us, not by asking questions. We learned by watching and listening, waiting, then acting. And people have passed on this way of listening for over 40,000 years. We listen. We listen from that deep receptive place inside ourselves. Just take this moment to just listen. Listen to your environment. If you've got music, just really listen to that music. Listen to yourself. Just listen. So we are not threatened by the silence. We are completely at home in it. We have lived for thousands of years in nature's quietness. Our Aboriginal culture has taught us to be still and wait. We do not hurry. We do not try to hurry. We let them flow and follow their own natural course. This is the season. We watch one season flow into the other. We watch the moon in each of its phases. We wait for the rain to fill our rivers and water bless the earth. When twilight comes, we prepare for the night. At dawn, we rise with the sun. We watch the bush foods and wait for them to ripen before we gather them. We wait for our young people as they grow, stage by stage, through their initiation and ceremony. When a relation dies, we wait a long time with the sorrow. We own our grief and allow it to heal slowly. We wait for the right time for our ceremonies and our meetings. The right people must be present. Everything must be done in the proper way. Careful preparation must be made. We don't mind waiting because we want things to be done with care. Sometimes many hours will be spent on painting bodies before an important ceremony. We don't like to hurry. There is nothing more important that we need to attend to. There is nothing more urgent that we must hurry away for. We don't worry. We know that in time, in the spirit of Dididi, deep listening and quiet stillness, the way will be clear. We are like a tree standing in the middle of a bushfire, sweeping through the timber. The leaves are scorched and the tough bark is scarred and burnt. But inside the tree, the sap is still flowing. And under the ground, the roots are still strong. Like that tree, we have endured the flames and we still have the power to be reborn. Our people are used to the struggle and the long wait. We still wait for the white people to understand us better. We understand and have spent many years learning about the white man's way. We have learned to speak the white man's language. We have listened to what they have to say. This learning and listening should go both ways. We know that our white brothers and sisters carry their own particular burden. We believe that if they let us come to them, if they open their hearts and minds to us, we may lighten their burden. There is a struggle for us, but we have not lost our spirit of Dididi. There are deep springs within each of us. Within this deep spring is a sound. The sound of the deep calling to deep. The time for rebirth is now. If our culture is alive and strong and respected, it will grow. It will not die. And our spirits will not die. I believe that the spirit of Dididi that we have to offer will blossom and grow, not just within ourselves, but in our whole nation. Just allowing yourself to stay in that beautiful reflection Keep that connection to country alive. To keep that connection to culture alive. We understand that deep spring that is inside of us. Taking some nice deep breaths in, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really breathing in that spirit of country. Allow it to penetrate every organ and every cell. Opening up yourself to receive that spirit of country. Breathing in and breathing out. Just take this little moment to reflect on those beautiful words of Auntie Miriam Rose as we hold them deep within our hearts, especially during this time when we do feel that disconnection, that separation from each other, from community and from culture. These words allow you to connect back to that culture, back to those communities and to each other through the expression of being able to receive these words. Staying present in this moment and breathing deeply again. Breathing in that spirit of country. So breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's just sit in a minute. Silence. Keep your breathing going and you're not threatened by the silence. We are one. Now bringing your awareness back to your body. Begin to wiggle your toes and stretch your legs. If you were doing the drawings, you can put your pencils down, stretch your fingers. Bringing our hands up nice and high above our shoulders and reach up high like you're going to touch the sky. Come all the way down back to our chest. And down again. Gently move your neck from side to side. Shrug your shoulders. Your body just a bit. Bringing your hands to your heart center and just expanding them out. Stay in the moment, don't rush things. Really opening your chest area and coming back to the heart area. And bringing your hands back down and coming back to this moment. These cards, I've got some different cards today. These are the Aboriginal, I'll put them on the both. Aboriginal Dreaming cards, again by Mel Brown. I love Mel Brown. I'm such a fan of her work and the amount of emotion that she does put in her work. It's just so beautiful. So let's get our message for today. Okay. So our message is daring. Find your voice and use it nice and loud. Even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you don't use it now, nothing will change. Really, I'm going to hold this up here because it is a really important message to each and every one of us about finding our voice and being heard. So Dididi is all about, listening and being heard as well. So the healing is the part when we are heard and our stories are told, that for us is the deep healing. So when you are holding back that emotion and that expression, we're actually stopping ourselves and placing barriers up around moving forward or moving out of limitation. So if you are holding back on any expression, this card's for you tonight. Have the courage to really find your voice and be heard. And it doesn't have to be in an aggressive way. Sometimes our gentle words are really powerful as well. But definitely tell your story, be heard, and stay connected to culture. So beautiful. Thank you, everybody. It's great to be back online with you again and sharing the Dididi meditation. You can also find Auntie Miriam Rose's reflections on Google. So if you just go onto Google, she has a beautiful short clip that you can listen to as well. So, yep, thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Lee, for this evening's webinar. I know our members who tuned in this evening really enjoyed it, really appreciate you joining us again. So on behalf of them and on behalf of Kinaway as well, we just want to thank you for joining us for this second webinar.
A pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We do get plenty of questions that came through as well during, so I believe they will pop up. And we can go through a couple of those. The first one is from Tony, and he asked, thanks for tonight, Lee. I found with having a crayon and paper on hand, I was able to write and draw any thoughts and emotions I'd come across during tonight's meditation. Do you think I could try it as a daily meditation tool or only sometimes?
Absolutely, it's really something that that we should incorporate into our mindfulness activities. So the ability to be able to express ourselves on paper through drawings, through writing, through symbols is a really great way to express and recreate stories as well. So yeah, definitely use your artwork as often as you possibly can. And if you're for Aboriginal people, that's just an expression of who we are. We are taught from an early age that art is a big part of our culture. So to weave the both together is a beautiful experience.
Lovely. Hope that helps, Tony. This next one is from Fran, and she asks, is there a time of day you recommend I meditate or just whenever I can find at the time?
There's definitely recommended times, early in the morning. Why I meditate early in the morning, first thing in the morning, is because it sets my day up, and it sets me up to be present to the day and also present to myself. So I'm not running straight into the demands of my day, so to speak. I really set my day up to be a contribution to me. But if the morning's not great for you, you can do it in the evening, or if that's too chaotic for people, just whenever you can. Make sure it's a time that you can let go and you can relax. So early morning or in the evening when your day's ended is probably the best.
And how often do you recommend? Is it a daily thing? Is it once every couple of days, or
It
what are your
depends.
thoughts there?
It depends where you are on your meditation journey. For more experienced meditators, I believe that, meditating every day to keep yourself anchored into those moments is great. But when you're first starting out, it can be a little bit challenging to have that discipline, to have that daily discipline. So once every second day, once a week, before you get into your meditation practice.
Sure. Lovely. Thanks, Lee. The next one is from Gail, and she asks, "Hi, Lee. Do you have any other songs you suggest?"
Any songs? Look, it's really a personal preference. There's heaps of great music that you can play on Google. So really just a personal preference, something that's that has nature, something that can help you relax. There's lots of river meditations as well. They're beautiful to relax to.
Yeah, yeah. The next one is from Luke, and he asks, "What should I do about the restlessness or discomfort I have when trying to meditate?"
Yeah. I guess the most important thing, Luke, is that you are aware that there is that restlessness and that discomfort. And with that awareness, it's the catalyst for change. So it's just becoming aware of, wow, I'm restless. It's like, when I become aware that I have barriers or I have emotion during meditation, all of these things come in and out, and we tend to notice them when we are trying to be at our most, to be in a place of stillness. That's when we notice all of these disruptions that happen throughout our meditation. Sure. So the awareness, I would say, is the catalyst for the change.
Okay. Thank you, Luke. Our next one is from Gail, and she asks, is daydreaming the same as meditation?
Is daydreaming the same? I don't know. I'm a bit of a daydreamer myself.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I got into meditation, Gail. So is daydreaming? No, I would say no. I'm not sure. That's a bit of a tricky question. No, I don't think daydreaming is the same as meditation.
Yeah. And she asks, there's a follow-up question, and do you think we should have a mantra when meditating?
Mantras are quite commonly used in meditation. So a mantra is like a repeated word that helps people stay present and anchored in the moment. So if you wanted to do a mantra meditation, you can include that in your practice, definitely.
Lovely. Hope it helps, Gavin. I believe we have one more question from Debbie Miller, and she asked, "Lee, can you explain how to do the colouring meditation? Sounds interesting. Thank you for tonight."
Thanks, Debbie. So the colouring meditation is just about getting yourself into a place and listening from that deep receptive place. So you're listening and you're allowing that emotion just to flow out onto the paper, as you do when you're just doing normal colouring or normal drawing. However, you're creating a story from my words and the reflections.
No problem. Well, Lee, I believe that is it for the questions that we received this evening. So once again, this on behalf of Kinaway and our members, just want to thank you for tuning in and for joining us and presenting with us tonight.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
You're welcome. And I just want to thank everyone who tuned in, all the Kinaway members that tuned in for this evening's webinar. On that, I'd just like to say, don't forget to tune in next Monday for our Health and Wellbeing webinar, as we have Yolanda Finette joining us. Yolanda is a well-respected and experienced holistic life coach, holistic counsellor, wellbeing facilitator, and Reiki practitioner. Yolanda will be presenting on holistic self-care and wellbeing, covering topics such as cultivating self-awareness, applying holistic self-care practices, tools, and rituals to create balance, connection, and calm. And she'll be introducing participants to radical self-care so that we're in the best position to care for our communities. We hope you can join us then. And in the meantime, don't forget to like this evening's video, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and we hope you have a great start to the week.